Hey guys, welcome to another video of this series Python 101. Today we're going to discuss how Python code is actually compiled and executed in your machine. So we're going to take an example of this simple hello world program whose name is file name 01, and we're going to see how this is actually getting compiled inside our machine. Okay, we're going to understand that. So for that, let's think that that file is a script.py file. So there are mainly four things. So first thing is your file. Now as soon as you click this button, so your file gets executed. Now what happens in behind is your script.py file will first get converted into bytecode. Okay, bytecode is nothing but your script.py bytecode is nothing but a machine level instructions file is get generated. Machine level file. Okay, it's a machine level instruction file that gets generated uh, using our Python that is installed in our system. That python.exe that we installed in our system, that comes with something called PVM. That is nothing but our Python virtual machine. Okay, now this is very important in while executing. Now first thing, our code is converted into a bytecode, that is nothing but a machine level file. Now that bytecode, using this PVM, this bytecode is nothing but instructions instructions for machine to execute. Okay, instruction for machine to execute. So bytecode will normally have a .pyc extension. Okay, we're gonna see how this pyc extension and where this file is actually. So these instructions for machine to execute are nothing but, suppose if you give a simple example, suppose a is equals to 10, b is equals to 10, and sum is equals to a plus b. So this will have instructions like, so here the instruction will be such as load a, something like that. Okay, b load b, then assign a uh, to 10, these kind of machine level instructions. Now our PVM, what it does is it executes these all lines one by one. Okay, it takes this line, converts it to a, a machine level code. So our machine doesn't understand any other languages than binary, right? So what this does is PVM under the hood uh, works in Python, sorry, C language. It's nothing but it's built in C language. So what it does is, using this C language, which is also called C Python, okay, using this C language, this converts these instructions into a machine level code, and that actually gets executed in our machine. Okay, so this is the actual flow. So first is your file that will get converted to bytecode, that is nothing but will have an extension of pyc dot pyc, and those bytecode consist the instruction for machine to execute. Okay, for machine to execute, and how it gets executed, using our PVM, which is built in C language, and internally this instruction using C Python will be converted to a machine level code that is getting actually executed. Machine level code is nothing but a binary code that is actually getting executed inside our system. So let's take an example of this simple hello world. I'll show you where we can see that uh, compiled file and how it works. Okay, and I'll also compare it with the Java file and how interpreter, this is nothing but, this gets converted nothing but use something called interpreter. Okay, so I'll show you what is the difference between a compiler and an interpreter. Okay, so sorry, yeah. So here, if we just execute this program, you'll see the hello world gets printed. Now we can see the bytecode of this by simply typing python m py compile and giving our file name. If you just give file something and press tab, if the name exists, so automatically it will fill up. So if you just hit enter, now you see one new folder came up named pycache, right? So inside this folder, if you see, I have file name 01 c python 313, that's nothing but the version dot pyc. Okay, so this pyc, if you try to open it using normal text editor, it looks something like this because these are machine level instructions, so we cannot see them directly. So but we can compile this. See, now this is under the hood getting compiled to this, and then this is getting executed line by line. Okay, so we can directly compile this as well and we'll get the same result. Now I'll show you. Let's get inside that folder, and using python we can just give that file name, and if I hit enter, you see the hello world gets executed. That's nothing but this file, executing this file and this file is same, but python automatically takes care of generating these files for us. Okay, now let's see what's the difference between a interpreter interpreter versus a compiler. Okay, so I told you that the interpreter interprets this script.py file into a bytecode. Now similarly, if you have used any other programming language like Java, it uses something called that is compiler. Now what's the main difference of interpreter and compiler is interpreter executes the code one line at a time during runtime. Okay, I'll show you what this means. And compiler, uh, sorry, let me erase this. Uh, Compiles the entire code before executing the code. Okay, so compiler compiles the entire code while interpreter goes line by line while runtime. When I tell while runtime, it means when the uh, program is getting executed, one line at a time is checked if there is any bugs or not, and if there is any bugs or if there is any syntax error, then one line at a time will be reported by the interpreter, while compiler reports all the issues in a single compile time. Okay, I'll show you an example. Let me open an online editor for Java and Python both. Java online editor. Sorry for the spelling. So let me open this here, and I'll open one more Python on online interpreter. Let me open this here. Okay, now I'll give some two errors here. Okay, so here I'll give, I'll not give the uh, s- uh, what is that, quote, closing quote, and one more I'll give something like uh, one more I'll give. Okay, one more print I'll give. uh, this is test. Okay, now here also I'll remove this. So I have two errors here. Okay, so see here carefully. Now here also I'll just give two errors. Okay, here also I give two errors. Now what we discussed was that our compiler will compile everything in a single go. Okay, in a single like the entire code will be executed, and whatever bugs or errors will be reported in that single go. Okay, so let's see. And but Python will give errors line by line. Okay, so that's the main difference. Let's see here. So if I run this, so you see both the errors are shown here, that we expect a semicolon in this line as well and in this line as well. Okay, so two errors are found. Now if I run this code, you can see the only the first see, if you see here, this is try program is, and you can see the only the this first line has got the error. Now we have not at all reached the second line because our Python interpreter have not reached here, because it executes one by one. But our Java compiler, what it does, it takes everything and then compiles it one and send out all the errors. Now until we clear all the errors, our code will not get executed. Okay, now here if I fix this, now it will show only one error. Okay, so you see only one error is there. Now if I fix this, now this will show error for this, because we have already fixed. Now after the executing this, it will go here. Now you see, now it is giving this. So I hope you got the now if we fix this, so let's fix this again and check. Yeah, now it's executing. Now here also let's fix, and it will execute successfully. Okay, I hope you got the concept how Python code gets executed in the system, how the interpreter and compiler actually works, and how the interpreter is different from the compiler. Thank you so much. We'll meet you in the next video.